All right, guys. So the SPY is for the first time in a long time under $500 a share. It's legitimately under $500 a share. We'll see what that means. Again, we'll see. You can see Apple at 165, the Q at 417s, Nvidia at 780s. So Nvidia down a lot. So big red day in the market on Friday. We'll see what this means, man. Let's see what this means. It's kind of big. It's interesting to see what happens. Is it time to buy the dip right now? I guess is the question. Had the largest pullback in Nvidia and other stocks in a long time. We're green today, mostly from Apple, Intel, and again, we're gonna be green today. We're gonna be green in this portfolio no matter what. So it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, we'll get some music playing here. Hold on. And let me get some music going. But yeah, is it time to buy the dip? I think that's going to be our poll today. Is it time to buy the dip? Gold? I don't know. Look at this. So there's Nvidia down there. It's a big drop, man. It's a big drop. So there's Nvidia down there. Is it time to buy the dip, or does the market keep dipping? That's a good poll. There you go. All right, so 56% of the vote says keep dipping. 44% say buy the dip. Huh. Interesting. What's up, Bonk, Beach Bum, Imran, Alyssa, Canada, Mac. Yeah, so I bought Netflix. I don't know whether to add more to my Netflix position or what. Like, I don't know what to do there. We're starting the stream a little early. We do have Verizon earnings coming out today, so those aren't really going to influence the market. We are approaching earnings season too, and so it is kind of like a big time for stocks. It's earnings season. And again, today we don't have anything big. We have Verizon, we've got Albertsons, Truist, Zion Bank, Bank of Hawaii, a couple other ones, but nothing really big today, in all honesty, for earnings. Pretty small stuff. Tomorrow we'll start the big ones with Tesla. In the morning tomorrow we've got nothing really this evening. In the morning we got GM. Tomorrow, that is. Tomorrow morning we've got GM, UPS, Lockheed Martin, GE, which is General Electric, Pepsi, Spotify, RTX, JetBlue, Halliburton, Philip Morris, Sherwin-Williams, Nextera, Danaher Corporation, Xerox, Ryder Systems, Bank of Cali, Quest Diagnostics, Polaris, Community Bank, Novartis, Atlantic Union, Cambridge Bank, First Bank, Preferred Bank, Webster Financial, Popular Inc., and a bunch of others. Investco PLC, and again a bunch of other earnings tomorrow. So tomorrow is when earnings season effectively starts, and that's just tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening we've got Tesla, Visa, Enphase, Texas Instruments, Steel Dynamics, Baker Hughes, Chubb, Mattel, Audio Eye, and a bunch of other ones as well. And again, that's tomorrow evening. Wednesday morning, we got Boeing, AT&T, Humana, GD, General Dynamic, Boston Scientific, Biogen, Hilton, Thermo Fisher, CME Group in the morning on Wednesday. In the evening on Wednesday, you've got Meta, Ford, IBM, Chipotle, a bunch of other ones too. So Thursday, we got American Airlines, OSI, Royal Caribbean, Altria, Newmont, Caterpillar, Southwest, Bristol Myers, and then Thursday evening, we've got Microsoft, Google, Intel, Snapchat, Roku. So big tech this week, guys. Big tech this week. I'm ready for it personally. We're going to stream all of these, to be honest. Every day this week, we're going to be streaming. It's going to be a very busy week. And then Friday, we've got Exxon, Chevron, the oil plays to tap it off, you know. So again, we'll see what happens. Apple at 165.90s right now, chat. So, yeah. Verizon's supposed to be dropping at, Verizon's supposed to be at 7 a.m. And then next week, I haven't even really checked next week, but I know next Monday we have SoFi. Nothing really the evening. PayPal, Eli Lilly, McDonald's, 3M, Coca-Cola. And then the evening, ooh. What do you guys think I should cover? So again, so listen. So Tuesday next week, April 30th, we have AMD, Amazon, Supermicro Semiconductors, Starbucks, and Pinterest earnings. Which one should I cover there? Out of AMD, Amazon, and Supermicro. Like, I want to say Amazon, but Supermicro is going to be crazy important too, right? So Supermicro is big company, very well known, low float microchip stock. It makes more EPS than any of the other companies. So their margins are very good for Supermicro Semiconductors. And or no, they don't make more. Yeah, they make more EPS than any of the other ones. AMD only makes 40 cents per share. Amazon only makes 81 cents a share. Supermicro makes 5.67. So I don't know whether I should cover that one or what. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, Verizon earnings aren't really huge, Drake. Verizon earnings are not really like market moving. It's Verizon, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of multiple cell carriers, which none of them really have big weights. Verizon is expected, and they should. Verizon's dropping right at 7, so in 25 minutes. Verizon expecting 112 EPS on 33.38 billion in revenue. So again, they're not going to be crazy influential. Gold today. Gold should be interesting. I'm in gold right now. I'm hedging with gold, and gold is up. It's down a little bit today, but it's up a lot over the last few days. Again, is it time to buy tech? I don't know. Yeah, so again, the interesting thing I talked about today in the title is if you look at the SPY is under $500 for the first time in a long time. If you look at a daily chart on the SPY, right, the SPY is under 500 bucks, $500 right here. Under $500 for the first time. SPY technically hit 495.16s. It is now at about 498s. But yeah, so SPY under $500 for the first time in a long time. Good morning. Why is the time to buy tech? I'm not saying it is the time to buy tech. In fact, remember, guys, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything I say here. It's for entertainment purposes only. I do trade off stream, and so you're not going to see all my trades. Do not copy me. Understand and consider the implications of CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance results of limitations, all that stuff. Yeah. So don't copy me. I'm certainly not telling you to buy anything. Typically, the way I trade, though, is I buy in on pullbacks like this and just kind of wait. Again, we'll see what happens specifically with earnings this month. Earnings drop this month, right? And it's a big month for earnings. It really is. Again, we've got Apple, Amazon. This week alone, we've got Google. We've got Microsoft. We've got Tesla. We've got Meta. We've got Snapchat. We've got just a lot of big earnings tomorrow. And really for the rest of the week. Like every day I'm going to be busy this week. We're going to be streaming earnings all week. So every single day this week we're going to be streaming earnings. All right, so the ECB's Pat Salides says ECB decision is going to hinge on data. There's no set path. Truist's reported earnings as well. We'll put Truist numbers out. Again, not a huge company, but still kind of relevant nonetheless. All right. $505 is the focal point of the SPY this week going into the month. Yeah, I think 500 is a really busy part of it too. All right, guys. So we're sitting tight waiting here. Nvidia's still under, man. It's kind of crazy. It hit 750s right now. 750s. That's such a small amount. You think the SPY is going to bounce? I'm not sure, really. I don't know. Again, I've talked about this before, right? Like, I've told people the biggest risks for the market, specifically, like the biggest risks for stocks are Nvidia stock turning big on everybody. Now, one of the things that I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see is that while the Q pushed down, it didn't push down as much as the SPY did, and it's bouncing back a little bit more. But one of the biggest risks for the market right now, again, is if Nvidia comes back down to $500-$600 a share, that's going to tank the market. That could potentially crash the market. We'll see what happens, but it certainly could happen. We'll have to wait and see, and be patient with this. But just be careful right now. Again, the biggest risks in the market is if Nvidia turns. Nvidia has earnings. They're not coming up for a while though. So Nvidia earnings are in May. So Nvidia has earnings May 22nd. So really, we still got like exactly a month until Nvidia drops earnings. Our last Nvidia earnings were our largest stream ever, where we had 14,000 people watching, concurrent viewers. So yeah, y'all just be careful right now. I've said it many times on this stream. I'll say it again. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility, and I've said that a bunch. So chat, let me know if you guys think that will happen. Looking at our poll here, we did a poll. We asked, is it time to buy the dip, or does the market keep dipping? 54% say keeps dipping. 46% say buy the dip. We'll see. Verizon earnings come out in about 15 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Good morning, Constantine. What's up, Stoops? Drake should add see results option for people that just doesn't have a strong opinion. Yeah, maybe. That's probably a good move. Yeah, I'm also looking at like TSM, which is interesting. We again on Thursday this week, you have Supermicro Semiconductor earnings. I still don't know which one to cover, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I've been saying the same thing, which is that the biggest risk for the market is that if Nvidia corrects down to 600 or 700, I think that is something that could happen, could cause a big parabolic drop in markets, and I don't think we're necessarily there yet. I think Nvidia is still right around $800, and so it's still got a long ways to go. And I mean, this is still the daily chart on the year, but I think if Nvidia dips down like this, then we can really be in trouble. If Nvidia comes down like this to $500 a share, which would be about 2.5x this move, right? If Nvidia does that, the market can be in trouble for sure. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying it could be, and I think you got to be really, really careful. We do have Verizon earnings. Verizon earnings are expected today at 112 EPS on 33.38 billion in rev. So we'll see if it hits that or not. Is this the market correction happening? I mean, it's definitely a correction. I don't know if it's the correction. It's definitely a big enough correction on the downside. It needs to correct some. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Realistically, if we look at this, it does look like it's a continuation of this trend, you know, which, again, I think everybody could probably look at this chart and say, hey, well, the next possible step is that. I don't know, though. It certainly could be anything. Same thing with Nvidia. We do have this run up, and now we have a dip. You know, if we're doing the stair-step pattern, that's what it could look like. Although it could also look like this, Chad. Again, I'm never trying to tell people I know what's going to happen. It could also look like this. You know, like it could also look like that. Now, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen on the SPY. But if it does, I'm probably going to buy up a lot of different things. Why would it even be like that? Would need an earnings miss? I mean, it doesn't... Look, anything could happen. And again, we do have earnings for Nvidia in a month. And so if we're going to correct like that, it could be from earnings, right? Like it certainly could be. Now, it doesn't mean much, but anything could happen, you know. Why do you keep saying this random weird number? Look up. Mostly horizontal. I don't really use vertical. Vertical's kind of hard, and like if like it's really difficult to make a vertical monitor work and stand and have the balance. So, you know. So why did it drop Friday without an earnings miss? I mean, it's up so much already, though, guys. Like, again, this is something we've said a lot. Like, still, okay, the chart still looks like this, right? I don't think anybody could argue that this yearly chart is a bad looking chart. Still very strong looking chart. If you take the time out of context and say, hey, look at this chart, people are going to say, wow, that's strong. You put a weekly chart up, it looks even stronger. The thing about it, though, is that a lot of people think there's extension here, right? And again, the problem with this is that if Nvidia turns, I've said this 1,000 times, I'll say it again, if Nvidia turns down to $500-$600, that can and almost and probably will drag the market back down, and that can cause a correction. That can cause a crash. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but it certainly could. You know, now maybe this is just the normal correction. Any chart that looks like this needs a correction. It's never going to go straight up, right? It's never just going to be like this and never stop. It's always going to correct a little bit. Now, maybe this is that correction that it needs, you know, where it continues and stair steps up, or maybe this is the start of some big bear action. I don't know. You know, I really don't know. It dropped Friday because Supermicro Semiconductors did not provide guidance with their earnings date. Did Supermicro say that they're not putting out guidance? Is that what they said? Let me look. So, because again, they're not going to release guidance before earnings, but did they say in general they're not putting out guidance? Okay, so it didn't provide preliminary estimates for guidance as it previously has done in the past. You know, we also have Taiwan Semiconductors, yes, last week. Again, Supermicro is set to release their results at 5 o'clock, April 30th. So we got about 8 days for Supermicro, but... Actually, no, I don't think Supermicro is this week. Yeah, I think Supermicro is next Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, so Supermicro is next Tuesday. They report the same day Amazon, AMD. Guidance is future projections, Stoop. So guidance is guidance. Okay, so every time a company drops earnings, right, you have three main, really it's about five, right? It's about five main metrics that you're going to look at for earnings. Number one is base adjusted EPS. So adjusted EPS is the first one. It's EPS basically. Second one is revenue, right? So EPS and revenue. EPS is margins, how like what their margins are relative to the last reports and all that good stuff and expectations. Number two is they have margins, right? So they have adjusted EPS, and then they have kind of the ceiling of money they're bringing in, revenue. And so margins and revenue are the base two, I would argue. Then after that, you get guidance numbers. And it's just kind of three things. I'm going to group guidance all up into one. But with guidance, you'll have like projected EPS, projected revenue for the first quarter, for the first half, whatever it is, right? And so that's really four major ones. So you've got historical EPS, historical revenue, and then you've got guidance EPS and guidance revenue, basically future projections for those things. Those are all very important. I would argue guidance is probably the biggest, most relevant metric for earnings, but you know, EPS and revenue are still pretty important. Yeah, all good. And then Tesla right now looking really weak. Yeah, again, Solo, I don't think that's a good sign at all for Supermicro Semiconductors. Them choosing not to give guidance estimates is a very bad sign. It typically means that their guidance for the future is not looking good, and that might be a scary thing for the microchip sector in general, right? Again, the reason that's scary is because guidance are future projections. And so if the company won't even give the estimates on what they think guidance will be, so you can compare what they show to it, they must not expect it to be very good, or they must not know what it's going to be. And so unknown or not very good or not very good future outlooks, I think, right? That's the problem with this, is that the future outlooks are potentially, risky to wait for. And again, this drops next Tuesday, so we still got a week and a day until Supermicro drops. Tomorrow we've got Tesla. Thursday we have Tesla. We also have Boeing, I think tomorrow. But yeah, tomorrow we have Tesla in the evening. Wednesday we have Meta. Thursday we have Microsoft and Google. Friday we have oil. Next week we have, again, AMD, Amazon, Supermicro Semiconductors. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens for sure. It's gonna be a volatile couple weeks. It's kind of it's one of the most volatile parts of markets is earnings season. So it's time. We'll cover it all live. We'll stream it all live like we always do. All right, chat. All right, earnings time, chat. Earnings time. All right, guys. Again, Verizon earnings are scheduled to drop right now, basically. So we got a couple minutes left. Here's Verizon. Verizon at 4060s. Yeah, if Google and Meta come out strong. I mean, there's a lot of, like, earnings season is still up in the air. Even this drop is pretty insignificant for earnings coming out. So this could be front loading into weak earnings, could be all that stuff. It's hard to tell, like it really is. And again, I've always been pretty consistent with what I say. I say anything could happen. Again, if Nvidia comes back down to $500 or $600, it's a bad sign. It's not a good sign. It's a bad sign. If Nvidia can't hold and comes down to $500 or $600, it could drag the rest of the market right back down to. You know, so it's something to be weary of. You got to just be very careful right now. All right, guys, here we go. We got about a minute left, about 2 minutes until Verizon earnings. Get ready, guys. Here we go. Gold is still up to almost $2,400 though. So again, we're trying here. Verizon at 4060s. The Astros just getting beat up. Astros at the bottom of the division at a .3 win percentage. Ugh. Terrible. It's not good. Who did the Astros lose this year? Let me see. Freaking Josh Hader. I blame Josh Hader, dude. He's just not good, man. He's just not good. We still got the whole team. I think the Jose Abreu isn't that great. He's a little bit old. It's still early in the season, though. But I guess it's time for the Astros to not have a good year. They've been good every freaking year. All right, guys. Hey, we got 20 seconds for Verizon. 20 seconds. Let's see what we get. Yeah, I'm waiting to really put any money down until earnings season is over, Rudd. Again, I'm not against waiting. I think waiting is probably a good move. All right, so here's Verizon. Verizon down to 40.18 up to 40.6. Consolidating. Their earnings are definitely out. We just got to wait to see what they show up as for Verizon. VZ is the symbol. VZ. I don't see anything yet. All right, so Verizon showed 109 EPS, 109 EPS. They expected EPS of 112, so it looks like they missed a little bit. Okay, adjusted EPS. Okay, guidance numbers showed up. So again, actually, they showed adjusted EPS of 115, beat the 112 estimate. Sales of 33 billion, missed the estimates here for Verizon. We'll put this number up on screen. They also posted good guidance, or no, they posted bad guidance for Verizon as well. So I'm surprised they're not gapping down on this report, to be honest. Their guidance numbers showed fiscal year adjusted EPS view of 450, or fiscal year adjusted EPS of 450. They expected 470, so a miss in guidance. I'm surprised they're gapping up from this. Here's the numbers right here. But again, it's a surprise they're gapping up from this, to be honest. I don't know if the market just doesn't understand it or what. They've dipped a lot. Maybe the dip is in. I don't know. But again, they're up on this results. And they had mixed results. It wasn't all bad. They had good EPS, bad sales. Yeah, again, I'm personally waiting for earnings season to finish. I'm going to wait another month before I really start buying up heavy into anything. So I'm going to wait another month until, yeah. All right, chat. So again, Verizon. Okay, so here's the Verizon numbers here. Again, they are posting 115 EPS. They expected 112. Revenue of 33. They expected 33.24, so they missed. They say the company is on track to meet 2024 guidance. We'll put this up on screen again. So I guess good guidance expectations here, and Verizon's up on it. No, I just drink regular coffee, Smokey. I don't really drink anything crazy. All right, so Morgan Stanley says the S&P is going to see 4,700 if yields stay high. You know, just to put that into perspective, the S&P currently is at 4,900. So basically saying if bond yields continue to remain high, you can look at the 10-year, which is much higher. Wait, what is the new 10-year? It's like something else now. It's like TNX, comma, something, CGI. Yeah, so the 10-year is still at 4.6%. So bond yields are really, really high right now. The SPY is much stronger than the Q. I don't know, man. Like, if we look at these dips, here's the Q on the left. Here's the SPY on the right. I don't know. They're about the same. Like, they're not really... Like, they look almost identical, number one. If we're looking at, like, actual percentage decrease on, you know, how much they're down. SPY is down, or the Q is down from 450 to about 415s. 415 to, we'll call it 416s. So, again... 450 to 416s is about a drop percentage-wise of about 7.5%. So we're about 7.5% down on the Q. The SPY is down from 524s. We'll call it to 495s. But really, we'll do the same thing we did with the Q. The SPY currently at about 497. And so the SPY is down about 5%. So really, you're right in terms of general percentage decrease. The SPY is only down about 5% versus the Q, which is down about 7.5%. So yeah, the Q is weaker. You're right. That's correct. There's Verizon at 4140s. A lot of it has to do with Nvidia, though. Nvidia has dipped all the way down to 770s right now. So again, a lot of it has to do with Nvidia's decrease. Coffee tastes good. All right, so again, Verizon up a lot. SPY retracing back up some. Still green on the day for most of these, but definitely a red couple day period. What's up, Jacob? My opinions are far from actionable intelligence, but I swear a couple years ago when I started watching, the SPY was always bouncing from 3 to 400. Yeah, I mean, and again, what were people telling you at the time, Smokey? They were saying, hey, the market's going to crash, guys, watch out, right? Like, that's the craziest part. They're saying the same thing. Again, I checked myself out of it after a while, but again, when the SPY was at $400, people were claiming it could never hold those gains, and that $400 was just crazy on the SPY, and that I was never going to hold. Now you look at the SPY's at freaking almost 500 and has been over 500 for a while. All right. What's up, Easy? Are the Tesla earnings already baked into the current price? I don't know, man. They might be. It's hard to tell. Again, look at that Tesla here. We'll put some other stuff up. There's the SPY. Here's the Q. Tesla all the way down to 140s. So I don't know. Tomorrow earnings will be interesting. I was listening to you at that time. Yeah, I mean, again, so many people predict crashes that it's hard to really like check yourself out of it. Maybe we do crash. And again, I'm always of the mindset where like I welcome whatever. If we crash, I'm not holding anything big enough to really cause a huge influence on my portfolio. We're still very green here on the year, and even if we turn, it's going to be really hard for us not to be green on the year based off of what we're currently holding. But if we do have some crazy parabolic crash down, I'm just going to start buying up like healthy companies. And getting good entries. You know, I think that's the move. That's what I made money on in 2020 when we corrected and kind of crashed. So all right, chat. Is it time to buy Tesla? I don't know, man. Again, personally, I'm waiting until earnings come out to buy anything like significant here. I think that we're already getting a pretty big correction pre-earnings, right? And I think what you have to understand is that anything could happen, right? Like, one of the things I hope people recognize watching my channel is that I'm pretty unbiased. Like, again, I think some bears might say I'm too bullish, and that's fine. But what I always try to tell people is the same thing, which is that anything could happen. A lot of different possibilities here could occur, right? And what I want people to understand is that we could get a big correction or even a crash from the next month of market activity. We have a lot of big earnings that drop over the next month. We have, again, Tesla tomorrow, Boeing, AT&T, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, you know, all these big earnings plays. This week alone, we have Tesla, Meta, Google, Microsoft, and more. And so this week we got a bunch of big tech earnings as well. And so if we are going to get a big correction or a big crash or whatever, this is the week it could occur. Now, I'm not saying it's even likely or probable, because I don't think it is. I think it's more probable that we bounce up from this report and that, maybe we bounce up from earnings. But anything could happen. And again, you want to be prepared for that. And so personally, I'm waiting. I don't think buying up heavy size in anything pre-earnings is the right move. I think waiting for earnings to come out, if we get big pullbacks, then maybe I can buy those dips or something like that. That's probably a better strategy for me here. So I'm just going to wait. Personally, I'm going to wait at least until, we get a couple other earnings. And then remember, guys, Nvidia drops earnings in exactly a month on May 22nd. Nvidia drops earnings. It's probably the biggest stock for earnings, and it's incredibly relevant for markets. And so remember, chat, just be ready. All right, guys. The crypto market's a scary place right now, dude. Where's Bitcoin at? The halving did happen, so I forgot about the halving. So the halving happened. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still at 66K. So Buenos dias. Stock futures are on the rise this Monday, signaling a potentially positive shift for Wall Street after last week's downturn, particularly with the tech sector. Yeah, I mean, markets are down for sure the last 2 days. Most of them are up a little bit today. If you look at the SPY, you look at the Q. Tesla is the exception, though. Tesla down to 140 is looking really weak. And again, we're only holding a pretty small position in Tesla, so... It's the Donald Duck song. All right, chat. All right, chat. Again, we're back on Verizon. Pull it back a little bit. The SPY still bouncing at 498s. 498s. All right. What else we got? Say the top 7 cities people are moving from is New York, Cali, Los Angeles, Chicago, Washington, San Fran, and Seattle. People are moving to the top 7 cities, which are Phoenix, Dallas, Austin, Denver, Charlotte, Las Vegas, and Tampa. I'd love to move to Las Vegas. It's a move Carol would never accept, though. Carol ain't having that. Gold taking a hit. Gold's not really. Gold's underreacting relative to like the market right now, but you're talking short term. So gold is gapping down a little bit today. It's at 2350s. It also just cracked lows of the day. We'll see if that continues. So gold coming back down. We'll see what yields do today. Yields are very interesting to watch, guys, for sure today. Bond yield's still at 4.6% roughly. Yeah, Verizon had good earnings. They're out with their earnings and they're gapping up some on it. So that's nice to see. We'll see if it continues. Again, this is the slowest day of the week economics data-wise. Every other day this week, we're going to be busy all day constantly. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's this week. I mean, of course it's political, Nancy. Friendly request. Please don't make it political. I think the real reason they're moving is because high cost of living in those places, but it varies, I'm sure. There's a lot of reasons. DCA, I don't know. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm not telling anybody to DCA. I'm not telling anybody to buy. I'm not telling anybody to sell. I'm just kind of waiting until earnings are done. We're going to wait until most major earnings are done. If we get some big pullbacks, you guys know me. Like, one of my favorite strategies is specifically waiting for earnings to come out. And if a stock overreacts earnings-wise, then I will if a stock overreacts earnings-wise, then I will buy that dip occasionally too, you know. I will buy that dip too if we get some good reactions to earnings. Sorry, I'm muting the music. I'm trying to get this video where these people fly off the boat. Dumb, man. You got a bunch of people that don't know how to drive boats. And I'm one of them. I can't drive a boat at all. But yeah. What about crypto right now, guys? So, did anybody watch the halving, and what do you guys think about the halving now being over and done? Yeah, Tesla, sketchy. All right, guys. 14-hour drive next month. Hey, good luck, Pawn. Yeah, we're traveling a lot this summer too, man. We're gonna have some fun. I'm not gonna be specific about where we're going, but yeah. Yeah, the halving already happened. All right, guys. So again, we're sitting tight. We asked people this morning, is it time to buy the dip or does the market keep dipping? 59% say keep dipping, 41% say buy the dip. We do have Tesla down. Again, SPY did bounce a little bit here. Although, again, I probably, if I had to guess, I'm slightly bullish today just because the market is down a lot. You know, the market is down a lot. Maybe it's time to buy the dip. Is it? Let me know. Is it time to buy the dip? Tesla keeps dumping. Wonder is Cathie Wood still buying? Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm probably going to wait, like just my trading strategy wise. I'm going to wait until earnings are out. And then if we get some good earnings or we get some good pullbacks that I can buy, I'll take those. But for now, I'm just sitting tight. I don't think I'm going to take any big size on anything right now. We're going to wait until earnings are out. Earnings week is this week. It's the biggest earnings week, you know, for most of the earnings season outside of maybe Nvidia earnings in exactly a month from now. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm reading these things about parents. Like, bro, my son has a hard time with video games. He has a hard time putting them down, right? I could be like, yo, put this down, like, do this. And my son just has a hard time. And so one thing that we do is that my son can't play video games at all during the school week. Like, during the school week, my son ain't touching a video game. Because if we let him, right, even if we only let my son play video games for, like, 30 minutes, he ends up just freaking out. Like, he can't handle it. He gets so obsessed about it. When it's time to put it up, he gets unhappy and sad. We just kind of restrict that. We restrict his phone, too. And then on the weekends, we kind of let him play games a little bit more. So we'll let him play for a few hours during the weekend. But during the week, he ain't playing video games. And again, I think... and I love video games as a person. Like, I'm a video game player. My son is, too, obviously. Carol used to play Halo with me, right? So, like, my whole family plays video games for the most part. But during the week, my son ain't playing them. Because, again, it just causes so much drama that it's just not the right move. Yeah, again, Cathie Wood, you know, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I respect Cathie Wood. She's obviously a much richer, wealthier person than I am by a large measure, right? But I disagree with a lot of her plays, man. She's buying up really hyped up mid caps that are almost like a lot of them. Like, even if most of them work, you're going to have some that drop 80%. You know, I just don't agree with that portfolio. I think, you know, you can't just buy up super hyped up mid caps and expect to make tons of money long term. Most of them, you know, even if a majority of them work, if one or two dip big, your whole position list could be ruined. You know what I mean? I think it's just incredibly risky. Where's AMC at right now? AMC up to 328. So AMC starting to move up a little bit. I mean, it's up from the 240 plus spot it was at a couple of days ago. 4 days ago, AMC, 4 market days ago, it was at 240s. Craziness. All right, guys. I'll be right back, chat. I'll be right back. We're going to take a restroom break. While I'm gone, here, guys, while I'm gone, vote on the poll. Does the market continue down today? Let me know what you guys think. I'll be right back, chat. Does the market continue down today? All right, we're back. All right, guys. So again, look at AMC. Verizon just dipped all the way back under the volume weighted average price. Let me take another look at this poll while we're back here. So let me take another look at this poll. VIX is down about 4%. Might be a good day. It's going to be choppy today. AMC is 32 cents before reverse split. Don't get the AMC kids started. Yeah, I mean, I feel you, man. I'm right there with you. Palantir with a nice little dip, though. Palantir at $20 a share. Is it time to buy that dip? Gold is pulling back some today, too. Hey, what's up, Beach? Maybe she was buying lower positions for the future. Yeah, but, okay, I say this multiple times, right? I'm going to say it again. The problem with buying mid-cap stocks, right? Like one thing that you see new traders do, like new investors that don't really understand, one thing that you'll see them do is that they will get in really, really big in mid-cap stocks, right? And mid-cap stocks are not the same thing as blue chip stocks. Like mid-cap stocks are usually newer, younger companies. They've been around less. They've been vetted less. They have less of a they have less of a record. All that stuff. And so one thing that you'll see with a lot of mid-cap companies is that they're overhyped. And so they can drop, 50, 60, 70, 80% in a year and just destroy the holder of whoever it is, right? And a lot of new traders don't really understand that. And so they invest in them like they're Amazon and Apple and Google, but they're not those stocks. They're much younger companies that have been less vetted. And so one thing that you'll see is like new traders get stuck in those and they don't know what's happening. They call the stock market rigged because they're buying up these terrible, like not terrible companies. They're kind of neutral, but they're fresh, they're young, and they can get overhyped up a lot. And so when you put all your money in companies that don't have much of a track record, public company wise, you can lose huge percentages. And that's something that you see a lot, right? Where if you put your money in the wrong things, it's just much better to buy vetted, legacy companies if you're going to invest long term. So what I mean by that is like Amazon, Apple, Walmart, Home Depot, like companies that have been around enough to where they're going to be okay long term. They're not going to fail. Like Home Depot is not going to fail, right? Why? You could think of the argument behind it. Home Depot is not going to fail because it's difficult to order the same things that you get at Home Depot online, right? You can't really order the stuff at Home Depot. You can order some of it, but a lot of it's going to be too big, too bulky, too expensive to ship. And so you got to buy it at the store, right? It makes the store itself valid for long-term outlook, in my opinion. And one of the reasons I like Home Depot is because of that. Home Depot is one of those companies that have been around for a long time. And again, we might add a little bit more to Home Depot. Speaking of this today, I don't know when they release their earnings. Let me see. But the point is, you want to find companies like that. You don't want to buy companies that are so brand new that have just started out. Okay, so yeah, we got a little bit of time. All right, we just bought a little bit more of Home Depot here. Yeah, I mean, again, that's an example, Rudd, of the same thing I'm talking about. Like Celsius, right? Celsius is a new company that only recently started to do anything, right? So this was an OTC pink sheet stock all the way up until 2020. Oh, so it's only really been around for 4 years, right? This is exactly the companies I'm talking about. And so the problem with companies like Celsius, and again, they might do big things. It's high risk, high reward, right? So I'm not telling you not to buy these. But it's certainly high risk, high reward, where if you look at a long-term chart, like these companies are fresh. Like they have not been around a long time. And so again, a lot of them are overhyped. Like we saw an energy drink company go out of business recently, Bang Energy. You saw them completely go out of business. And so this company only started in 2020. It's up ridiculous percentages. It's up, hundreds and hundreds of percent, if not more than that. And so again, I'm not saying it's going to come back down. What I'm saying is that it's risky to buy and hold. It's not risky if it's just part of your portfolio, but diversify. Like this is a risky stock, I think. It's up a lot. It's only been around for 4 years. It's not a legacy company. I just think it's risky. But again, at the same time, chat, it's high risk, high reward. If you're right about it, if it does continue to run and do great things, then you can make a bunch of money. You could also lose a bunch of money, so just be careful. Hope that makes sense. Chewy? Chewy is, I'm in Chewy right now, number one. I'm flat on it completely, so I've been in neutral on it, but I think I actually made money on it. It bounced, I took profit, and now it's down a little bit from where we took profit, but I'm not 100% sure. Chewy is sideways in neutral. Chewy has a big following because of, it was founded by Cohen, but it's not owned by Cohen. Cohen ended up selling it, but it's interesting. I think, people still order a lot from Chewy. We order from Chewy here sometimes too, so I think Chewy is probably somewhat resilient, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm in it right now, but it's not big size. Like I'll buy mid-cap stocks. It's not like I'm just never buying up mid-cap stocks. It's just that I'm going to be much more risk averse when I buy these companies. Like I'm going to trade much smaller size, not risk a lot, All right, let me check this out real quick. All right. When is AMC and GameStop earnings? I know GameStop earnings came out recently. What about AMC? I'll have to see. Let's see. AMC. May 29th. GameStop was recent, right? They recently reported theirs. June 25th. So yeah, GameStop's not until June. Be fearful when others are greedy. Greedy when others are fearful. Yeah, for sure. That's a very famous quote. Scare money doesn't make money, but most diamond handers hold dirt. Yeah, I mean, most of them, like diamond handsing into terrible, like speculative companies is not a good move. Like it's so ironic to me because like diamond handsing is meant for like healthy blue chips, right? Like diamond hands Amazon, you're probably gonna make money. Diamond hands Apple, you're probably gonna make money. Diamond hands Microsoft, you're probably gonna make money long term. Diamond handsing a company that has dropped this much, like to tell somebody to diamond hands this long-term chart, like what are y'all talking about? Diamond hands this? Like it's such a silly thing, right? Like it really shows how many new traders are gullible, to be honest. Like look at this chart, you're telling me to diamond hands that? Like what a crazy thing, man. Again, what happens is it's just, this is, if you want to know what confirmation bias looks like, this is what confirmation bias looks like. Okay, confirmation bias looks like you're desperate to believe something that you truly want to happen, right? I want to believe I'm going to win the lottery every day this week. That doesn't mean it's more probable to happen, right? AMC, wildly depreciating company. I'm in it right now too. I'm down, of course, but like I'm not in it big enough to really, you know, influence me or at all. I'll still kind of be honest about it. Just you should never diamond hands this, right? Like at a certain point, you should look at it objectively and say, hey, I was lied to. Like the people behind this community just wanted to grow a following, you know. Again, I'll tell you the story of it, and it'll make sense, right? So GameStop squeezed, right? And one of the main reasons GameStop squeezed like it did was because aggressively overshorted. That's the first aspect of it. And again, AMC might have been shorted, but it wasn't as shorted as GameStop ever was, right? GameStop 120% short float. AMC short float at its peak squeeze moments was at maybe 20-30%, right? So it just wasn't the same. The second thing that wasn't the same is that GameStop had a very, very small float of like 40 or 50 million. Very small float, right? So what does that mean? That means it's much more volatile than AMC could have ever been, right? AMC had 10x that float. So AMC had 10 times more shares than GameStop did. Much harder to make a stock with that many shares, do some kind of crazy parabolic squeeze, even if it is aggressively shorted. And these are fundamentals that the insiders at GameStop simply, or the insiders at AMC, the ape community, these are fundamentals they purely just didn't understand, right? Like they just don't understand the fundamentals of stocks in this way. At least a lot of them didn't, apparently. And so a lot of them saw GameStop do this crazy squeeze to 500 plus, and they thought that everything was going to squeeze. You know, you got people telling them, you know, hey, buy this, you know, oh, you're going to make so much money. And greed overpowers people's minds, right? Greed overpowers people's minds. Everybody saw GameStop squeeze and people get rich from it. And so they just start jumping on these squeeze plays like AMC, but it was never going to squeeze that much. It simply did not have the fundamentals it needed. It had way too big of a float, much too little short float to really squeeze in a parabolic way like GameStop did. But don't tell the AMC community that, because they find all these random numbers to justify a squeeze happening. And most of these guys are just, they know AMC GameStop has a huge following, and they know if they pander to them that they can potentially grow a following online and make money from social media, right? And so that's what a lot of these guys are doing, unfortunately, is they're just kind of pandering to the AMC community. And people that have invested their life savings in these stocks are so desperate to believe good things about it that they just kind of believe whomever is telling them all this crap, and it's unfortunate, right? But again, I'm here to kind of burst that bubble. Just don't get mad at me. I'll say this at least once a week. Don't get mad at me. That's the truth. Yeah. I argue all those traders upgraded to Nvidia. Yeah, but Nvidia has the EPS to justify the move, right? So Nvidia, again, we talked about this before, and it doesn't mean it's going to hold, right? Like I say the same thing every time. It doesn't mean it's going to hold. But when you look at Nvidia's revenue, okay, so Nvidia revenue, like let's take a look at it, right? So Nvidia's revenue and their EPS, right? So here's Nvidia revenue. And again, here's Nvidia EPS, right? So again, when you look at Nvidia here, and then 775 is what they're currently at. So again, 260s. All right, 260s. All right, if we look at a percentage increase from 260 to 762, let's just call it 775 right now. I think that's about what it is. That's about a 200% increase, right? So that's about a 200% increase. So where they were here, and again, so let's call this is March, April of 2023. All right, now if we look at their revenue increase, right? So again, let's go to the same period. Here, look, 4/30/2023, 82 cents. Now it's at 4.92s. So again, 82 cents to 4.92s. That is a percentage increase of 500%. 500%. And again, this chart is only up about 200%. And so the thing with Nvidia is that unlike AMC, it actually has the earnings to justify the price increase, right? So again, EPS prior to the squeeze in April of last year was 82 cents a share. Now it's almost $5 a share. So their earnings power has increased. If you look at their revenue, same thing, right? If you look at their revenue, similar thing. So if you look at their revenue, again, 430, it was 719. Today it's 22. So again, same thing. We can do the 7.19 to 22. Again, that's a 205% increase. So their revenue is very parallel with the share price increase. Now, again, it doesn't mean it's going to hold. My point is, it's a lot better than AMC was. You know, AMC doesn't have the earnings power to justify any of the moves up that people are pushing forward. Nvidia does to a certain extent. Now, again, Nvidia down to 775, still looking really weak. And again, if Nvidia starts to turn, market could be in trouble. What's up, Connor? Yeah, the halving is interesting. You know, Bitcoin at about 66K. John, what's your big news days of this week? Every day outside of today is big. So again, today we have nothing really. We had Verizon earnings earlier. You can see Verizon. So today we had Verizon earnings, but it's not really a big day. Now, every day outside of today is big. What I mean by that is, like, if we look at the economic calendar, okay, so tomorrow we've got, let me make sure this is right. Yeah, so tomorrow, April 23rd, we have building permits, manufacturing and services PMI tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening, we've got Tesla, IBM earnings, and a bunch of other ones. So tomorrow evening, again, tomorrow morning, we've got GM, UPS, Lockheed Martin, General Electric, Pepsi, Spotify. In the morning, Tesla, Visa, Enphase, Texas Instruments, Steel Dynamics, Baker Hughes, Chubb, Mattel. So Tesla earnings essentially tomorrow. Wednesday, we have, let me see. So Wednesday we have durable goods. So Wednesday we have durable good orders. In the morning, earnings wise in the morning for Wednesday, we have Boeing, AT&T, Humana, GD, General Dynamic, Boston Scientific, and a bunch of other ones. And then Wednesday evening, we've got Meta in the evening that we're going to stream. Meta, Ford, IBM, Chipotle, ServiceNow, a bunch of other ones. Thursday, we have economic reports. So Thursday, we have GDP data coming out. So Thursday, we have the GDP report. Expectations for GDP are 2.5% quarter over quarter. Jobless claims also dropped Thursday, expected at 215. Also coming out Thursday morning, we've got American Airlines, Royal Caribbean, Altria, Caterpillar, Southwest, Bristol Myers, Valero earnings, Comcast earnings. And then Thursday evening, chat, we've got Microsoft, Google, Intel, Snapchat, Roku. And then Friday, we got ExxonMobil, Chevron, and a bunch of other oil companies. And then Friday, economics data-wise, we have PCE data. So PCE data, inflation data this Friday. Just a lot of stuff going on this week. We're going to be busy every freaking day this week. It's going to be packed. which is good. You know, again, I like busy. Busy is good for the channel, but it's going to be very busy. We're going to be streaming all week, every day this week, basically. So yeah. Yeah, y'all hit that like button. Bitcoin up to 65,000. Big red day on Friday for most tech. All right. Yeah, definitely top 3. All right, chat. So yeah, we're sitting tight, waiting here. Nvidia is still consolidating. I'm interested in maybe buying up some stuff, although Tesla is down a lot. So just be careful, chat. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on this week. It'll be very busy. I'm excited for it, man. I'm ready. Yeah, y'all slap that like button, hit that subscribe button. We probably got more likes than that. Y'all hit that like button, chat, if you haven't already, team. We appreciate it. Now, nothing's for sure, Edgar. Nobody knows, man. It really is something where nobody knows if Tesla earnings are going to be good or bad. You always got big predictors ahead of them, but nobody really knows what's going to happen here. So I would just be careful. SPY is under $500 for the first time in a while. And again, we'll see what happens. All right, guys. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, if you want to sub to the crypto channel, you can. We're gonna be doing a crypto show today, or maybe not today, but sometime this week. Probably later on this week, not today. We got so much stuff that we're doing this week; it'll be busy. Let's see if we can get ready to day trade some here, chat. We did make some money, I think, on Friday, right? I think we did. I think we made about $100. Not a huge amount, but we made a little bit at least. Yeah, one of the things I've been proud of is that my channel has been growing a lot, even on no economic data days. It's been growing a lot. Tesla's still testing lows. New low of the day on Tesla is 141.18s. So somebody said, let's say hypothetically you walk away with $5 million US free and clear post taxes. How do you allocate that money so you can flip it into 100 million? Bro, like, this is the worst advice ever. This is not how smart people think. Okay? Like, you're not gonna flip 100 mil, or you're not gonna flip $5 million into $100 million short term at all. Like, nobody is going to be able to do that. So you're literally talking about making 1900% gains here. Like, if you can make 30% a year, you're doing great. 1900%. Like, these are, like, again, if you want to look like you know what you're talking about in markets, don't ask these type of questions. This is one of the dumbest types of questions you could ever ask, which is, you're not going to make almost 2,000% short term in any investment, especially not with $5 million. Like, it might be easy to scale small amounts of money, right? Like, you might be able to scale small amounts of money into large amounts, but you're going to take a lot of risk, and you're going to potentially lose whatever your initial thing is, your initial bet is, a lot of the time. But once you get up to the big amounts, like millions of dollars, it's even harder to scale. And so this is just a dumb question. And then most of these people have no idea what they're talking about. Like, somebody else asks him, is 100 million even enough to retire? And he says, no. Of course it is, guys. Let me do some math here. All right, listen, you ever get $100 million, which none of you probably ever will, but that's okay. I hope you do. $100 million, chat. All right, you could take, listen, 10-year bonds pay out 5% right now. We'll call it what it is, which is about 4.06%. Right? So, again, you got $100 million in interest payments annually. So, each year, if you buy 10-year treasury bonds right now, you're going to make $4.6 million a year in interest. Just in interest alone for 10 years. And then at the end of that, you're going to get, your 100 million back. So, you're going to make almost 50% returns in 10 years. 50 million is plenty to live off. That's how you live on money, right? And again, you're going to make money with it. But you got to be smart. There's a lot of people, like, again, the easiest way to do this is, like, there's a lot of young people on social media that have truly, listen, I'm going to be honest, they truly have no idea what they are talking about. Like, they really have no idea what they're talking about. They don't understand the real value of money. They don't understand what's a reasonable expectation for gains. The only way you're going to take that is by starting an actual business, right? If you take 5 mil and, again, realistically, you take $5 million, you start your own brand. You start your own brand of yoga mats. I'll just use yoga mats as an example, right? The only real way you're going to be able to do this, you start a yoga mat business. You start a franchise that grows. You start your own product, your own private label product is the only way you're going to bring it to that level. And again, like, I'll use yoga mats as an example. Say you got $5 million. You buy a yoga mat business, you get a logo made, you stamp your logo on the yoga mats, and you start selling them, not just on Amazon, but everywhere. You pay sponsorships in the yoga community on yoga social media brands, and you grow your own private label brand from home. And eventually that private label brand gets bought out for $200 million. That's the only real way you're going to be able to do that. Outside of that, it's just silly to look at it. I'm not really amped up. We're just kind of talking. It's good conversations. I'm just giving my channel content. And so, yeah, but again, a lot of young people don't understand, man. And again, they're desperate to believe it. And so anybody that claims, it's kind of like the AMC community, right? Like, if I tell you you can take 5 million, turn it into 100 mil short term, of course, that's a very pleasant thought. I want to believe I could turn 5K into 100K, but it's so improbable that you want to just be smart and just protect your money first and foremost, and then take it and do whatever you want to do with it. But But yeah, don't believe that nonsense, because yeah. Yeah, that would work as well, Carlos. He said put it into life insurance. Yeah, for sure. That would work too. 5 million in swaps. Yeah, if you have 5 million, the last thing you want to do is buy options or crypto with it, to be honest. Unless you're talking about, like, listen, I'm okay if you take 5 million and you put 25% of it in stocks, you put 20% in bonds, you put 10% in crypto, you put 20% in gold, you put, like, I'm okay with doing a portfolio like that. But you certainly shouldn't just take it and YOLO into crypto. You'll probably lose your money, realistically. Like, it's important to just be reasonable, I think, with these expectations and money. 10 million into a nice penny stock, hey. Or you can start a live stream channel and let people vent. I mean, listen. Starting a YouTube channel is a lot harder than people think it is, man. Especially right now. Like, I got in early, and so it was easier to create my channel. But a lot of people are realizing it's not as easy to grow as you might think. A lot of people try to do exactly what I do, and they just don't get the same results. It's because it's hard to do, man. It's not easy. It is what it is, but... Yeah, lots of work. It's not easy to grow a beard like yours. Hey, top 3 beards in the world right now. Stay out of debt, make up to $1 million a year, be comfortable, stay out of DeFi, DGen, Bitcoin bag, and gold on side. Yeah, do your own research. Yeah, for sure. Amazon just dumped. What a gain this morning. Did it really? Amazon up to almost 177. So Amazon's back up some today. It fell back on Friday, it dropped, but it's still back up some. Why is the dollar index up? Probably because the markets are down a little bit short term. It just depends on what it is, though. Yeah, I mean, again, the Dixie is mostly gonna do the inverse of what markets do. And so if markets started to turn over the last few hours to the downside, the Dixie's probably gonna bounce up, but... It's really hard to stay motivated in the beginning when you have little to no views and comments. Yeah, it's... Again, man, like... I think a lot of people see me do what I'm doing here, and they just try to kind of mirror this. And it doesn't work, right? Like, I've had people that have left. Like, I've had people that have started to work with me and then left and just kind of started competing directly with me, doing exactly the same thing I did, covering the same topics, trying to stream exactly like I did. And they got no views. They got, like, 2 people watching them, and they realized very quickly... It's not gonna work, right? Like, again, it might look easy, but it's very difficult to bring a channel to get this amount of views, And people can make fun if we get like 500 or 600 people or whatever, but it's difficult to grow it to this level for sure. If your beard isn't growing gray like mine within a few years, I'll be mad. Yeah, I mean, listen, my beard certainly has some, like, I have like red in my beard, so my beard is kind of like reddish, right? So I've got like red in my beard, like a little bit of blonde. My beard is kind of reddish blonde. My hair when I grew up was actually kind of blondish, believe it or not.
My hair growing up was very blonde. Kind of like my son's. My son's hair was blonde when he grew up too. I'm looking at all these old pictures of my son. Y'all want to see a picture of me, man? Look at this. Who knew? Top 3 of all time ever in the world. I'm gonna have to post this picture. It's so good. Hold on, I'll show you guys. I didn't even realize I had this picture about it somehow. A lot of baby pictures of my son is what keeps popping up. There's baby Brew. There I am. Those red ones are about to turn. Does the market hold, chat? Does the market hold? What's the name of the app that you can lock out? That can lock you out from trading? I don't know. There's one. I think most softwares can do that, though. I'm pretty sure. Like most software apps can do that, I think. No? I would assume they can. All right, chat. Alright guys, I'm kind of trolling with these old pictures. SPY pulling back to the volume weighted average price. Is it time to buy the dip? Yeah, I gotta make a Twitter post about this. Look at me as a kid. My problem is giving back to the market. Well, most people can be profitable. Most people can be profitable. They just have these really big drawdowns in their account that they're unable to bounce back from. So they make money, everything's going great, and then they give it all back, right? Usually on one day of just bad discipline. That happens a lot. And so if that happens to you, you really got to have like a good discipline system in there, where if you start to lose X over a certain amount, you got to just lay it down. Like the biggest problem for most traders is that it's hard for them to shut it down when they lose. And this is a problem that I run into as well, right? Whenever I lose, it's very difficult for me to shut it down. And I think that's a mistake a lot of traders make. That's a mistake a lot of traders make. And so again, you just got to condition yourself through repetition to limit risk. And if you lose, be okay with it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's me as a kid. Here, look, remember I said I had blonde hair as a kid. Look, here's me as well. I look like my mom in this picture. Like, people that say my son has blonde hair, like, look, this was me when I was my son's age. I look exactly like him. Look at my shirt, man. This is the most 90s shirt ever. Look at that shirt. The most 90s shirt ever. Looks like Rocco's Modern Life shirt. What a shirt, man. Anyways. Young John. Yeah, that's definitely my number one problem. It's most people's problems. Like, it happens to a lot of people, you know. It's a tough thing, man. It's hard to maintain that discipline day in and day out. You just gotta have really good risk management systems in place. I mean, 61%. Again, we'll see. We'll see. Gold started to bounce back. We'll see if gold has a good day. The dollar index is running up, and again, you can kind of see the market turn. The Dixie has an inverse correlation most of the time. If we put the Dixie up here, it's not a shock to see it rip it up on the SPY and the Nvidia turn. So again, these are all green, but they're not super green, so they very easily could go red. And again, this is all ahead of earnings season, chat. So earnings are today. It's a big day. Yeah, Lil John. Thoughts on Twitch streaming versus YouTube? Twitch is dying, I think, to a certain extent. It's just not. Again, I think YouTube is stronger than Twitch. All right, so look at the SPY with this huge turnaround here, chat. SPY with a huge turnaround. Still technically green on the day. Nvidia still technically green on the day, but not by much here. So these are big turnarounds in markets, chat. These are big pullbacks here. Let's see if we got it. All right, so the U.S. Department of Justice announces financial support for ArcelorMittal's anticipated electrical steel facility in Alabama. Yeah, it's a busy week, chat. It's a very busy week. Y'all be careful this week. All right, so big retracement back up here, though. I'm a little nervous to buy anything right now. Again, it's ahead of big earnings. Tomorrow is a huge earnings week, starting tomorrow. Tesla earnings tomorrow evening. Yeah, for gaming streams, I'm sure it's Twitch, but YouTube in general. Again, I'm not really a game streamer. To be honest, like, I'm pretty good at UFC 5. And I'm all right at MLB The Show. I wouldn't say I'm good enough at MLB The Show, but UFC 5, I'm pretty good. But I don't know. The audience is too small, you know. Yeah, so Tesla earnings tomorrow. Expectations for Tesla earnings are... what I'm showing here is Tesla is expecting 49-cent EPS on 22.7 billion in revenue. All right, so we're starting to bounce up a little bit on the SPY. Nvidia is starting to move up a little bit, but the dollar index is starting to turn back down. Still very strong on the Dixie here. Gold bounced back up a little bit as well, but My buddy got into trading, acted all hot-headed and know-it-all-ish, then called me a few days later asking what a margin call is. Yeah, again, I've said this saying before, I'll say it again. Trading is one of those areas where young people specifically are so desperate. Like, what happens, in my guess, is that people that don't have much going on in their life, that for whatever reason they're just not as successful as they want to be, they look for markets where they can pretend to be successful. And investing and trading is one of those markets where they can pretend to be successful. You know, again, I've said it before, but like, if somebody makes 10K at roulette, you're going to look at them like they're a degenerate gambler if they don't have that much money, right? If somebody says they made 10K trading or investing, you might look at them like they're a genius, but they're both kind of the same thing. It just depends on what you're doing. Like, you can get the same thing, and a lot of people are just gambling and they're wanting to look successful. And so I always talk about the Dunning-Kruger effect in trading. I think it's really, really true, in which like a lot of people are so desperate to be experts in trading that they just give out a lot of really, really bad advice. If you look at like TikTok and social media, there's just a lot of really, really, really bad advice. People telling you can make 5%, even like 2% a day. People telling you can genuinely make 2% a day is such a ridiculous expectation. Most of the time they're just selling you a course. And if you tell people you can make 5% a day, it's a lot easier to sell a course, but they get people a lot with that. They scam people a lot. It's something that happens very, very often. No, I think Jake Paul has criticized Dana White too much. Yeah, hey, good luck, Pawn. You know, my son plays Five Nights at Freddy's, FNAF, the video game. Not the like adult version, but like the kid version. He plays the kid version. TikTok people saying it's easy to 10x your money. I mean, it depends on crypto. It depends on like what your view is. It's a little late for that though. It's just most meme coins are gonna fail, but some of them do crazy percentages, and so, you know. The Senate has proposed a 1% wealth tax on Bitcoin holding that exceeds 500K. All right, chat. Big pullback at the Dixie. SPY still down though. Is it time to buy the dip here? I don't know. I'm very hesitant right now. I don't trust the market at all. I was really looking forward to a Tyson Paul fight. Is that not happening? Okay, so that fight's happening. It's happening July 20th. Yeah, man. Again, how about Ryan Garcia beating up Devin Haney? You know, again, they said he was crazy. He ended up winning. Shout out to Garcia, man. He did that. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Apex is one of my sponsors. Great company. What they do is they give you a demo. They test your skill. Again, I always try to give the same plug or pitch here for it, and it makes sense if you think about it, right? Number one, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. You want to check and vet all of this stuff with them. I'm not an investment professional. You got to understand CFTC 4.41 and hypothetical or simulated performance results have limitations and all that good stuff here. Understand and make sure you understand all these things. It's also scrolling at the bottom. But with that said, the reality is most day traders lose, right? Like most day traders lose. Almost all day traders are going to lose their first couple accounts. They call it market tuition. you kind of have to lose in the beginning to understand risk management, because if you never lose, you don't understand the risk that you're taking in trades. And so you can either put up thousands of dollars yourself and give it back to the market, most likely. Again, some people can make money off the get-go, but it's a very, very small percentage of people. Or you can limit your risk in a funded account program. And this is actually what most pro day traders trade is futures. There's no PDT in futures. The patterns in the S&P or the NASDAQ are very similar to blue chip stock patterns. You can day trade essentially the SPY, essentially the Q price action of what's called the NASDAQ futures contract and the E-mini S&P futures contract. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market, very similar to day trading stocks. But there's no PDT in futures, and there's actually better liquidity. If I pull up the SPY here on the right and I pull up the SPY or the S&P E-mini, you can kind of see it's actually better liquidity in futures than there are in stocks, although it's the same price action here. I can day trade this middle one in futures. Apex is one of the most legit funded programs in the world. They give you a demo and they test your skill with that demo. And again, when you consider most day traders fail, and if you want to day trade stocks actively without restriction, you're going to need $25,000. It's just really, really expensive to get started there. These funded account programs allow you to get started for much less. And if you lose, like most day traders do, you only lose what you pay for. The base one is the 25K challenge. They're going to give you a 25K demo, and you got to make $1,500 in profit on that demo without losing $1,500 first and following their rules and conditions. If you do that, they fund you 25K with a 90% split. And the cost of this is only about 30 bucks. And so if you lose, you're out 30 bucks. It's not the end of the world, but if you pass it, you still get a 90% split, tons of great resources, and you can get started for a small amount of money. And so it's the best of both worlds. I always describe it in my opinion, although again, I am biased because they pay me money. But if you lose, you're out 30 bucks. The 50K one is like 40 bucks. The 100K one is like 45 or 50 bucks. I have to go check. I'm not sure exactly how much it is, but it's cheap. And if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. But again, if you pass it, very similar to putting the money up yourself, as long as you can follow their rules, you get a 90% split. And so it's the best of both worlds. If you want the max discount at all times, use promo code BT, beginner trading, 2 letters, BT, beginner trading. It'll get you the max discount at all times. There's the link. Check it out. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. Although, again, they are a sponsor. I'm biased because they pay me money. Look at Amazon starting to bounce here, chat. So Amazon is starting to bounce. Look at it bouncing right off the volume-weighted average price. We do have a slight upward trend in markets today. I think if we draw a trend on the SPY here, very sideways, slightly upward trend here in the SPY. I would argue Nvidia is kind of trending down now, though. So Nvidia kind of downtrending here, too. And then Amazon. You could also put up like Tesla. We could put up maybe the Q. Tesla's still cracking lows, looking hella weak here, guys. So y'all just be careful in Tesla. Earnings tomorrow for Tesla. I think maybe people are front loading into a potential earnings outcome. One day till expiry if you have any morals. Yeah, your first 25K is yours as well, 100%. Yeah, but people always say, oh, well, use a cash account, bruh. Like, listen, a cash account, you're going to be so restricted. It's not going to be worth it. It's going to be so hard to day trade with a cash account if you want to day trade the SPY or the Q. You're going to need so much buying power to do that, and you're still going to be restricted. You're going to have to wait at least a day to get those funds settled back into your account. So you spend $1,000 in equity, and you buy, what, 3 shares? You're going to have to wait a day to get those, to get that $1,000 back into your account. You can only go long. You're just going to be so restricted, it's not worth it. Futures are where it's at, in my opinion. But again, I'm biased, though, because, again, I'm sponsored by a futures platform. But, all right, guys, Tesla at 140s here. Still looking really weak. Is it time to buy the dip in Tesla? You know, I know it's kind of risky, but I do kind of want to buy a little bit. I'm going to add like a couple shares to this. Just a couple shares. All right, so we added a couple shares to this. Yeah, I heard good things about that. The Fallout series pawn, I did heard good things about it. So somebody saying, can your emotions handle Tesla under $100? Be honest, I don't know, man. Oh, man. Coffee tastes good. Well, Bitcoin hold, guys. Bed Bath and Beyond. Alright, so again, we added a little bit to Tesla, and we're bouncing back up some here. We're still pretty flat on the day, equities-wise. Is it time to take profit in gold? Citigroup, we're also pretty profitable in that as well. I'm going to probably start to take profit in some of these positions here. We're out of Citigroup. We made our money. We'll start to scale out of some stuff here. Delta. Kind of a little bit of Delta. Limited the ship position there. Took profit. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and limit some of this risk. What else we got here? GM. Oracle. Alright, we're out of Oracle. Snapchat. So I'm in Snapchat. I'm going to take half of the position off. We're green on it. So we're going to cut half of the position we're in. Take that off here. PayPal, I'm going to take some off on PayPal because I'm in PayPal right now. I'm going to start cutting some of these positions ahead of earnings. We'll sell most of PayPal here. Actually, you know what? We're going to get out of all of PayPal, I think. Yeah, we're out of PayPal. We made a bunch of money in it. We were in a really good average. We were in like 50, like around 50, 51 bucks. It's at 60 something. So good percentage return there. What else we got? Tyson Foods. We're gonna go ahead and take some off there too. It's been doing really well. We're not gonna take the full Tyson Food position off, but we're gonna take some. Lock that in. Apple is very green on the day, so that's nice. Exxon Mobil. I'm gonna go ahead and cut Exxon too. We're up a lot in it, so we're just gonna go ahead and cut it. We're trying to limit our losses, or limit, like, kind of scale out of some positions here. Now we're in a few still, but yeah. So we cut a lot of our positions. Yeah, Supermicro Semiconductors next Tuesday, so in exactly a week from now is when Supermicro drops. Exactly a week. Hey, my guy Andre, thanks so much. I don't know how much that is. I think it's like a couple bucks, but Yeah, it's like $2. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate the dono anyway. You see Tesla under 120. I don't know. It depends on what their earnings show up as, to be completely honest. Tesla currently at 140. And so we're in Tesla. It's not a big position. We're in it though. I hope it goes up. We're going to stream their earnings tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I don't know where Tesla's going to go. I hope not. But I think anything can happen, Andre. And I think... yeah, I think anything can happen. I think Elon's biggest problem is that again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Elon's biggest problem is simply that he's being way too outspoken politically. Can't talk. He's being way too outspoken politically. He's getting super one-sided, and not only is that going to create a lot of enemies for him, right? So not only that, it's also going to discourage, like, people are generally pretty split down the middle, like left to right. People are generally pretty split. And so if you want to sell things to consumers, right? If you want to sell things to consumers, you need to understand that, like, if you get one-sided politically, you're going to ostracize the other side, right? So basically, they're not going to want to buy your cars anymore. And so I don't know. I think there's risks, for Tesla. But I think to say some optimistic things, I think if Tesla can stay in front of FSD and be on the forefront of FSD, which I do truly believe is the future of technology, right? Like, I truly do believe it's the future of technology. If Tesla stays on the forefront of that, then I think Tesla can do really, really well. I think it'll just take some time, take some energy, and again, but I think there's risks. I certainly don't think it's a sure thing. And so I hope it goes up. I'm in it. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to do. Do you think that about 50 bill package after losing 200 billion? I don't know. I think Elon is smart enough to understand he better take his money. Tesla earnings may go up next time. I expect a lot of people will be buying into FSD at a new price. Yeah, I mean, again, if Tesla dips enough, I'll buy it. Right? I don't think Tesla's going to fail. I think there's still a lot of people that like Teslas, that drive Teslas. I think that, again, the technology, the software behind FSD is a powerful software, and I think it's going to have a lot of people use it. But I just think there's risks overall. How to when Tesla is only level 2? Well, yeah, I don't know. Tesla earnings may go next time. Lest we forget the imminent arrival of Tesla bot. Yeah, I mean, and that's great in all elements. Again, I'm not picking sides politically, right? Like, I'm kind of being a little sarcastic when I say that's great. What I'm saying is that business-wise, it's a risky move. Coming out one-sided politically is a risky move business-wise. If you're selling things to people and consumers, people that used to be a fan are no longer a fan. And while it will create some fans on the other end of that, it's a risky business move. All right, guys, we're at 768. 768's Tesla testing lows again. Gold at 2360s, 2360s. So gold's trying to get back up there, but man, Tesla just really looking weak. SPY is still kind of in this trend, Right, for sure. I mean, I'm very neutral politically. I really am. Like, I don't really want to, you know. I'm not really going to shill for either political side. I just got better stuff to do, more important stuff to do. I think people that don't have much to do kind of end up getting wrapped up in politics. I'm really not trying to mess with any of that stuff. I'd rather just stay neutral. Dude, so a lot of people are looking at drones because they're looking at drone waiters. So they're looking at waiters that are basically drones that fly your food to you, serve you. I'll tell you this, I'm gonna tip a drone a lot less than a person. But I'm looking at this video of a drone delivering food to somebody. The future of this is gonna be whether drones are automated or not, and I think they're going to be automated, right? So automated drones are going to be good. It's hard to get them that stable though. If you look at it, stability is going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like if they're holding a cup of beer or whatever, stability is going to be hard. Tesla's still testing those lows though. Look at that, it's at 140.40s. So we got Jim Osman, Edge C Group, saying, quote, "You ain't seen nothing. I lived through the dot-com crash of 2000 and 2002. Major indexes were destroyed. The NASDAQ dropped 78% from 5048 to 1114. The S&P fell 50% from 1520 to 768. And the DGIA, the Dow Jones, decreased by 38%. So... No, Tesla earnings are tomorrow. Yeah, waiter drones are interesting. I think that might be the future too. They just got to figure out stability. Because again, like the drone's holding it, it's like going like this, back and forth, back and forth. Once they figure out stability there, it's gonna be like a big thing. Oh, if you see the big band-aid on my wrist, dude, I've got like some type of like rash on my wrist. I don't know what it is, but it's some type of like rash on my wrist. I'm covering it up and putting tea tree oil on it. Probably from freaking jiu-jitsu somewhere, you know. All right, guys. So we still got 500 plus people here live. We'll see what the open brings us here. We got less than an hour before the open. And again, this is kind of the slowest day this week. Every other day this week is going to be packed busy. We're not going to get much rest this week, and that's all right. I would rather work a lot this week. And, yeah. Bro, I see this person should be shamed. She said, "This is my daughter. I'm teaching her how to day trade." Oh my gosh, dude. Ugh. Like, people ask me all the time, "Hey, are you gonna teach your kids day trading?" Of course not. Like, I would never want my kids to learn day trading. Why? Because I think it enables gambling. I think if you start your kids super young day trading, you are teaching your kids to gamble. I think teach them investing, teach them DCAing, teach them value investing, buying and holding. That's what you teach them. You don't teach them how to day trade. It's a horrible idea. And again, most of the people that are teaching them these things are not profitable day traders. They're just kind of making money from social media, which again, I'm okay with. I make money from social media, but I'm honest about it, and I'm certainly not going to teach my kids how to do it, you know. This guy, Orville Rogers, was 100 years old. He set a new age record by running the men's 60M in 19.13 seconds at 100 years old, bro. Good for him, dude. I hope I live to 100. Speaking of that, I did do a fast yesterday. I'm going to start fasting every Saturday or Sunday. So I fasted for 18 hours yesterday. It's supposed to be good for you if you do it once. Teach me about fasting, chat. Y'all know a little bit more about me, I'm sure. Or about it than I do. But I'm doing like I did an 18-hour fast yesterday. I didn't eat until like 5 or 6. Well, fasting's good for you. The reason it's good for you makes sense, right? Like, you got most religious books talk about fasting, right? And it really is genuinely good for you. It makes sense why. Because things that are healthy for humans are things that mirror our hunter-gatherer ancestors' lifestyle. Right? So, like, what did our hunter-gatherers eat? They ate strawberries, they ate blueberries, they walked around picking berries, eating lean meats. And so what things are healthy for humans? Lean meats, berries, right? Berries are superfoods. Lean meats are healthy for us as well, because that's what our hunter-gatherer ancestors had access to. What is not healthy to us? White flour, processed sugar, like all these things that our ancestors did not have access to. White flour, processed sugar, they're things that are bad for humans. With that same concept in mind, right? Look at the market bounce back up to the SPY all the way back up to 498. So let's see if it breaks back over 500. But with that same mindset here, fasting is good for us for the same exact reason, because if you think about what our hunter-gatherer ancestors did, they would wake up, and a lot of the time they would have to hunt for food. They would have to gather food. They didn't always have food as soon as they woke up in the morning. And so they did have to fast until they caught their food sometimes. And that would be much later on in the day. They also had to go days where they didn't eat. And so that more closely mirrors a human's, more natural eating schedule. And so in that regard, fasting is very good for you, And I think it makes sense. Yeah, for sure. Right, that's what I'm doing, is intermittent fasting. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I fasted yesterday, and I was actually really I had a good amount of energy for somebody that didn't eat, Yeah, I don't know about fasting every day. I just think maybe 1 or 2 days a week to go a little bit longer without eating might be good, but I don't know for sure. Yeah. All right, guys. So again, Tesla's still consolidating around lows. The SPY bounced up. What's dragging the SPY up like this? I'm looking at what's dragging it up. Apple's pretty green on the day, so that's nice. What is dragging the market up like this? Anybody know? I'm looking at Apple, Microsoft, Google. Google's up a decent amount. Yeah, that's what my daughter's working on doing. My daughter's trying to lose a little bit of weight, so she is she's kind of trying to skip breakfast. All right, chat. We still got a couple minutes left. What do you guys think the market's going to do at the open? Go up or down? Bull or green? Bull or bear open? All right, guys. So again, Tesla testing lows. SPY back up. Let me look at the Q here. So there's Tesla in the middle. Here's the Q. So Q bouncing back up too. Very sideways day though so far. It might be a little choppy because of the earnings week we got going on this week. Yeah, so I'm seeing this guy, Chris Hilbert, and this is something that I recently talked about like a couple minutes ago. So this guy, Chris Hilbert's like a Tesla fan, right? What he says is, quote, Tesla brand's loyalty probably has peaked. Elon brought politics into buying equation for many consumers. Previously, the left were the target market for an EV and conservatives were the target market for internal combustion engines. His political stances have deteriorated Tesla's target market. Price cuts, incentive deals, rate promotions, and more are probably the new normal to keep people interested in buying. And he specifies here, he says, quote, I'm not a Tesla hater. I own my third vehicle or offended by the political stance. It's just surprising to hear people in the real world, not behind a keyboard, say they are no longer interested in a Tesla product because of Elon. They will often buy inferior products out of spite, saying I'll never buy a product from that man and I'm not sure we can put that genie back in the bottle, end quote. And again, this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, the problem is, like, people don't care if it's going to destroy his company being super political. They just want him to agree with them. And there's risks in that. Right now, at the other side, he's also going to gain consumers from this as well. But, you know, you have to wonder if it's going to be a net positive or not. And I think it's a tricky question to ask. I'm not sure. Really, I'm not sure. Y'all just be careful. The New York Stock Exchange is considering a proposal for 24/7 trading, according to FT Financial Times. In other words, the stock market would never close, much like cryptos. Should 24/7 be approved? I don't know, man. I like having markets where it's closed. I don't know if I want markets to be open all the time, stock market wise. Yeah, I don't drink anything in my coffee. I don't put cream in my coffee, sugar in my coffee. I think coffee is actually pretty healthy for you overall, as long as you don't throw a bunch of crap in it, right? Which is not most people. Most people, they want to sweeten it up and make it like a freaking dessert in the morning, but it's a huge risk in doing that. Like waking up in the morning and for your first ever consumption, eating basically a dessert drink, like with so much processed sugar in it, is just horrible for you, like absolutely terrible for you. Yet a lot of people don't have the discipline to not do it. They have to wake up and get their mocha, frappe, whatever it is, right? And it's just terrible. It's the worst thing you could ever do to break your fast in the morning, but yet somehow people still do it. I never understood it. Again, I just drink coffee plain. I don't put anything in it. Coffee's not bad for you if you don't put a bunch of crap in it. And I know some people are like, not me, John, don't target me here. But it's the truth. They want to do that so they could stop loss 24/7. I mean, maybe so. I don't want to worry about what markets are doing when I'm sleeping. I don't want the stock market to be open while I'm sleeping. You know, then it's even harder to protect your positions. You got to think about it in that regard, right? Like, it's going to be even harder to protect your positions in that situation. I don't know what brand I drink. I drink some type of organic brand. I don't know what it's called. So, yeah, we'll see. What's your gym split? I try to go to the gym. I've been doing jiu-jitsu a lot more than going to the gym. So I've been doing jiu-jitsu a lot. And so I only really get a couple days at the gym. Usually it's top and bottom day. So one day I'll do shoulders, arms, back. You know, sometimes I'll do like biceps, triceps, shoulders, and then I will do legs, back, stuff like that, right? Like, that's usually my split. It's just those two. If I got 3 days, sometimes I'll do shoulders and back, you know, but it depends. Oh, it's definitely a Mahogany John beverage. Yeah, but it's not the best move. Hash. Do what you want to do, though. It's all good. You know. Alright, so dollar index is coming back up, but look at the SPY bouncing up as well. The Q back up, Nvidia ripping back up too. Let's see if Nvidia can get back over 800. I think 800 is a big milestone level that's important. So again, we'll see if it holds over that level. We still got about 38 minutes left until market opens. So we'll see, chat. Should we start day trading now? I don't know. Put 3 charts up. Maybe we'll start day trading a little bit here. Alright, so this is going to be my bottom chart. Put the micro NASDAQ up, try to get in some good trades early. Yeah. Alright, so we got our micro NASDAQ up. $38 minutes until market opens. B, 38 minutes. Alright, anything that looks good right now, chat? I don't see much going on. Might buy this dip. We're at the top of the range, but it's okay. I'll take maybe 4 contracts from the start. Maybe add up to maybe 6. If it pulls back enough, but I'm pretty sure I said 38. You might have just missed the 30 in the beginning, but all right. So we got 5 contracts here. Again, it is the day before big earnings, so we could have choppiness today. So y'all just be careful. Again, tomorrow we have Tesla earnings, a bunch of other ones too. And so we really could get like big choppy action ahead of earnings today. Again, tomorrow morning we have earnings too. So tomorrow morning we've got GM, UPS, Lockheed Martin, Pepsi, Spotify, GE, RTX, JetBlue, Halliburton, NextEra, Philip Morris, Sherwin-Williams. and more tomorrow, so just be careful, guys. Alright, so we just took some off here. We got 2 contracts left. That way we're protected in the trade. If we're wrong, we're still okay. Or if the rest turns against us, we're still alright. So we're kind of flat on the position now. I could add more to it, but I don't mind staying small in this and then maybe adding some more, I guess. So we just got 4 contracts. We'll try to add another 6. There we go. So we're going to take 6. Just kind of play with the gains that we have so far. Yeah, I tried to warn people about DJT when it was at like 70, 80s. Typically, you always got people that are just so desperate for their political stocks to do well that they just kind of ignore logic. And so they're telling people not to sell at 80 and to ride it and diamond hands it or whatever. But you're telling people to diamond hands like a pump and dump. The amount of people that tell other people to diamond hands, pump and dumps in the market is crazy high. Crazy high. Just try to be resilient to that type of stuff, chat. All right, so we're right back up here. We got 6 contracts. Again, we're going to try to let it work. There we go. We took a little bit off. We'll take the rest off there too. Now we have 2 contracts left. Try to let the rest work. So I want to take another off. I think I'm just going to let it go. Again, the dollar index still running up some here. Bond yields are moving up a little bit too. I don't know if that's good to look for markets or not, but and you see, I'm day trading the futures market on Apex right now. So this is a 100K funded account on Apex. Again, Apex gives you a demo. They test your skill. If you could pass the test, they fund you. If you don't pass the test, you're probably going to lose more putting the money up yourself. Most day traders lose. And so if you try to put up 5K yourself for your own account, you're probably going to lose most of that, if not all of that, day trading. And so these funded account programs are just great ways to limit your risk. Although, again, they are a sponsor. I'm biased, of course, because they pay me money. And so naturally, I'm going to be biased in their favor. Remember, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I do take trades off stream, all that good stuff. Understand CFTC 4.41. But again, it's something to understand, chat, that most day traders lose. Limit your risk. If you lose a funded account program, the base one's $30 basically. So if you lose, it's not the end of the world. But if you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90% split. You can get between 25K up to 300K in funding with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 25K in profit anyway. And so it's just limited risk with a good reward. Great way to learn how to day trade as well. Again, if you want to check them out, use my promo code BT, Beginner Trading BT, 2 letters BT, get you the max discount at all times. Check it out. We are starting to run up a little bit here, but again, I'm going to just hold the rest break even. We got a little cushion on the day. I think I can kind of let this work a little bit more. Alright, so we're still bouncing up. Again, I'm still in these 2 contracts left. You can see it's very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule here. Alright, there we go. We're gonna cover into that bounce, I guess. No losses yet, day trading. Hopefully that continues. Alright, so we're pumping up a little bit more. I just want to hold this, I think, and try to let the rest like really work here. Another flag here this morning. Alright, so we did bounce up a little bit more here. We're still kind of hanging out. We're kind of at the top of the range though, so it is a little bit riskier here, but I guess we'll go ahead and take the rest off there. So we're up about 50 bucks on the day. Not bad for the start of the day. Does look like a flag. We'll take it. We'll see if we get some continuations here. Also, we're going to put it in sub only mode, so if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Watching Reddit. Yeah, Reddit recent IPO. You know, still a struggle for Reddit to hold after kind of a volatile open. It went up to almost 75 bucks a share. Came all the way back down to 40. So just big percentage movement, still chopping up and down for Reddit. Kind of a risky investment, to be honest. I don't know I don't know what the margins are like on Reddit, in all honesty. Like, I don't know what the margins look like for Reddit. So I think there's risks, but yeah. All right, chat. We're pulling back a little bit, mostly choppy though for the last 25 minutes or so. So we're gonna wait until this choppiness breaks. Maybe it's gonna be at the opening bell. All right, so we're pulling down some here. Look, let's watch this support level. I think it's a reasonable support level there. We'll see if it holds. top 3 choppiest days of all time. Yeah, it's just kind of a boring day. Again, not really any economic reports today. The big stuff starts tomorrow. So we got big earnings tomorrow. A lot of good stuff happening tomorrow. So just be ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's very busy. All right, so Mercedes becomes the first automaker to sell autonomous cars in the U.S. that don't come with a requirement that drivers watch the road, according to Forbes. Interesting. What do you guys think? All right, so again, we're bouncing back and forth. Very sideways day. Let me look at the chat. Mercedes system has so many limitations that's unusable. Yeah, we'll see if he has a mic drop number at earnings. We'll see. Again, tomorrow's the day. Again, tomorrow evening is when you're going to want to watch. Yeah, does first mean the best? I don't know. All right, so Dixie pull it down a little bit. Markets are very choppy. We got to wait out of this range, though. Like, you can see how sideways it is. You can see how choppy and neutral it is. Just not doing much, you know. Have to wait for it to break this range. Maybe a little bit of an upward trending lows there, but I don't know. Again, we got to sit back and wait. Bitcoin ripping up. Is it really? 20 minutes into the market open. Bitcoin up a little bit today since the halving, really. Bitcoin up to 66,000. So Bitcoin has been running up some. Mercedes system can only be used on geofence freeways under 40 miles per hour, heavy traffic, fair weather, etc. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. You know, not talking about the Mercedes thing, sorry. Talking about Bitcoin ripping. Bitcoin has been churning up. Again, we'll see what happens. The halving happened over the weekend. It was kind of a non-event, and you know, Bitcoin has been doing well. What are miners doing today after the halving? What about Riot? They're up. Mara, they're up. So miners have been bouncing. Bitcoin miners have been bouncing. The dollar index is testing the highs of the day as well, so we'll see if that holds. Very choppy range, though. We're just kind of sitting tight waiting. Give it a little bit of time. Yeah, we'll see if Apple does anything for it. All right, guys. So a weekly hammer candle on Bitcoin. Hammer candle is usually pretty strong. Wait, is Canada's capital gain tax 66%? Is it really? Okay, so basically what this is, chat. Now remember, like, tax rates are marginal. So basically, if you make in Canada for individuals with a capital gain of more than 250,000, 66.7% of that gain is taxable. This inclusion rate comes into effect June 25th of this year, but until then, this is how capital gains work. With Canada's current income tax rates, no one currently pays more than 27%. Now remember, like, income tax is marginal, right? So a lot of people don't understand this. Like, a lot of people think, like, tax brackets, right? So if you look at tax brackets for this year, so if you make between 100 and 191K, right, your tax rate is 24%. Right, but what that means is that from 100 to 191, like, whatever you make over 100,000 up to almost 200,000, you're gonna get taxed at 24%. So basically, an example of this is that if you make, if you're gonna have to pay around $22,000 in taxes if you make $191,000 on that last tax rate, right? So whatever you make from 100 to 191, you're gonna get taxed at 24%. What's over that though? Let's see. Okay, so from 370 to 215 is 32%, and you're gonna pay about 37% on everything 540,000 or more. But it's marginal, so you're not gonna pay, like, it's not like you're paying 25% on everything, right? You're just paying it on the amount that's over the 90 whatever thousand. Oh, over the 89,000, I think is what it was changed to. What about Shroot Bucks? What about 1,000 Shroot Bucks? So does that mean everything over 250,000 in capital gains you make, you got to pay 66% on it? Is that true? That's still out there. That's still really out there. I've never made that much capital gains wise, so I don't freaking know what I'd be taxed at, but still. June is a terrible month for Bitcoin. I see it dropping to low 50s, then trade sideways for a few months. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on what happens, of course, with ETFs and numbers and all that stuff, but we'll see. Again, we're still pretty flat here heading into the open. We got 15 minutes. What about Stanley Nichols? Do you guys think the New York Stock Exchange should be open? (24/7) I don't know. Hey guys, what you doing? What you doing, buddy? I'll be right back, guys. I'm talking to my kids here. Hey, you're on stream right now. All right. Hey guys, I'm here right now. Sorry, my family's talking to me for a second. I'm here. Just because the market is open doesn't mean... Yeah, I just don't like the fact that the market might be open and have crazy risks like that. All right, sorry, I'm back. I had to talk to my wife about something. 24/7 market, it'd be 100%. Yeah, I mean, my worry is that when everybody's sleeping, market makers are going to try to stop me out of my positions. That's what I'm genuinely worried about. I don't want to get stopped out of my positions at night when I'm sleeping. I think the market needs to be closed. People need to take a break from it, because if not, I'm going to go, like, if not at freaking 2:30 in the morning, stocks are going to kind of have crazy moves down, stop me out, and then go right back to business as usual. And like, I don't want that to happen. I think it's going to make it a little difficult. Yeah, 9:30 wouldn't. I mean, 9:30 would still be volatile, but it would be less volatile for sure. I think it's just a bad decision. I don't think they should ever do it. Yeah, people need that break, 100%. I agree, Oscar. All right, chat. It's time. All right, so again, we're here, guys. We still got about 500 people watching. Verizon earnings are out. What else we got? Tesla stock is down some today. Let's see what we got. Best thing is to stop everyone from trading in this pre-market, maybe even the pre-after. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bad idea. You're gonna get stomped out anyway if there's a sale at 5 a.m. Sure, but again, it's just a little bit easier to deal with. I think it's a bad decision. I don't think we're gonna have any type of good volatility then anyway, and so I don't think the benefits are worth the risk. The dollar index still spiking up some. It's kind of moving positively with the market. So if you look at the Dixie here, there's Nvidia. If you look at the Q, all right, look at the Dixie. So the Dixie's spiking up with everything as well, which is kind of interesting. 24-hour market with a trading bot though. I mean, trading bot is insignificant. You could use a trading bot now. You could use a trading bot during, like, that makes no difference. Like what you can make now versus trading bot if market was open 24/7 is almost indistinguishable. It's not going to matter. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's smart. I think it just adds more risk, more stress, less rest. All right. All right, chat, we're sitting tight. Let's see if we get anything else. Now we're rejecting at the top of the range. Again, look how similar this is. All right, so look at this big rejection all the way back down. The market opens up at 6 minutes left, chat. 6 minutes. So we'll see if we get anything good. Dollar index is ramping back up, so maybe that was a little bit of a warning ahead of the time. All right, so now we're bouncing right back up. Still in the sideways range here. I'm not really doing anything here, chat, until we get some better momentum. Alright, so we're testing the bottom of that range, but then we're kind of bouncing back up here. I don't know if I want to buy this dip. Look at Nvidia though. Nvidia back up to almost 780s, and if Nvidia can break over, if Nvidia can break over 800, I think that's a really optimistic, good sign for it. Love the show, boss. Thanks. Hey, thanks, swag. All gaps will fill. Maybe Nvidia's currently at about 780s right now. Gold pulling back a little bit, but it's had a crazy run up. Time to buy Tesla or not? I have no freaking idea. I don't really watch those ETFs, Oscar. I'm not really watching overseas markets a lot. Ford's future in light of EV markets loss? I don't know. I don't like Ford or Mopar anyway, really. I think they're just not super reliable companies. They're not super reliable vehicles. So again, chat, we got over 500 here. So bounced right back up. I guess you could have bought the bottom of that range. We got 2 minutes. The dollar index still testing highs here, chat. All right, testing the bottom of the range here. Bottom range. All right, so chat. Testing the bottom, we're at 17.289s. Nvidia at 781s. I could literally hit 200. All right, guys, here's the opening bell. We got 20 seconds. Best resources to learn about the stock market, beginner trading right here. No, again, we'll teach you about markets if you ask, you know. All right, chat, 10 seconds. Let's see what the market gives us. All right, ding, ding, ding. There's the opening bell here. Nvidia over 780s at 781s. Right now, the dollar index is at 106.30s. We got the SPY at the very bottom of the screen here. We can also pull up like Tesla, but look at Nvidia pull back, but the SPY and the Q are bouncing up a little bit at the opening bell. A little bit, not a ton. I'm going to put the SPY up here instead of the Dixie. All right, rejecting the top of that range already here. Let's watch Nvidia close. I'm keeping a big eye on Nvidia here. It is earnings season. It is earnings week, and so we could have choppiness for earnings. So it is something that you want to be very weary of. We might have choppiness for earnings, chat. It's something that could certainly happen because earnings tomorrow and all the big earnings drop this week. So big retracement back down. I'm going to short this one contract, keep it pretty light at the open, and see if we get a flush down. There we go. Boom. All right, we took half off there. Take the rest off there, lock that profit in. So yeah, we're up about $100 on the day. Not bad. Grinding it up a little bit now. And now we're retracing all the way back. Let's watch Nvidia closely. So we're dipping down some here. Again, I would normally want to bet on a continuation, but again, I think there's a lot of risk. Tesla now under 140s, chat, under 140s. We'll see what happens with earnings. Again, I would usually bet on a continuation, but it's just too much risk. And look at that big pop up, so this is exactly why. Nvidia's still down there. Tesla really weighing the market down some, but it's not a super heavy weighted stock. Look at this reversal. All right, so all the way back up, Nvidia at 786s. Let's watch $800. I think that's a big level. Here, a big level. So again, I'm gonna wait. I don't know, man. Maybe I short the continuation here too. It's a little bit too late though, so I'm just gonna let things play out first. We're only 3 minutes into the open. All right, so a big rebound all the way back up. So again, it looks like shorting would have been a bad move. Look at Nvidia, chat. Nvidia all the way back almost, back up to almost 790s. Let's see if Tesla can find some strength. The SPY is completely flat though, and so is kind of the NASDAQ here. Again, I don't know. Too choppy for me. I'm gonna wait. I usually am a little bit more aggressive at the open, but I'm not really interested in this. No, I'm not in AMD anymore. I haven't been in AMD for a long time. All right, so now we're all the way back down to it. Nvidia looks weak. This is a much weaker sign here. I'm gonna short. And so we're gonna start to add into a short position here. All right, we got 3 contracts, 4 contracts. We'll try to get up to 6. There we go. Take half off there. Beautiful trade. Took another half off. We're gonna get out the rest down there. All right, so yeah, now we're up about $140, $150 on the day. So we're up to $150 in profit. No losses yet. Riding, piggybacking off of that big move that just happened and the emotion that comes from it. So yeah, not bad here, chat. We'll see if we get anything. right, so we got another bounce up. I'm gonna short into this as well. Although it's very risky because, again, we could just get choppy in this today. I'm not going to add much to this. I'm going to take 2 contracts and just play with this. See if this rejection holds, and I'm going to cut it if it breaks over this resistance level. There we go, all the way back to green. I like this rejection. We're going to take half of that off, lock it in, cut it. All right, so we're up about 175 on the day. Almost up to $200 on the day. Again, no losses yet. Maybe held that one a little bit too short, but it's okay. Up to 170 on the day, sorry. Not too shabby, Chad, not too shabby. Yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of neutral here today. We're kind of opening up flat. Not a surprise. Tesla bounced all the way back up. So Tesla has rebounded all the way back up today. See if it holds. I still don't think it necessarily looks good. All right, we're bouncing right back to that spot here. I don't know, man. We haven't had any losses day trading today yet, but I don't know if I like it enough to continue. Again, there's Nvidia still trying to work. SPY is a little bit more red at the opening bell. Still green on the day. Tesla, again, at 142, starting to bounce back. Nvidia almost at 785. Trying to come back to. We got a rejection there at that level, that resistance level. Again, watch Nvidia, it's just such a big influence over markets. So again, we haven't lost it all yet, but I don't really trust the markets that much right now. Very choppy. Again, it's the day before earnings, and it's a big earnings week. So Tesla earnings today or tomorrow, a lot of big earnings drop tomorrow. We're going to keep it pretty slight, choppy, and flat. So... very choppy open. Are you guys red or green this morning, guys? Again, we're just kind of sitting tight. Remember, tomorrow is a big day. All the way back up. Nvidia at 785s. Tesla over 141s now. Over the 200 EMA. Over the VWAP. These are usually very bullish signs. It doesn't mean too much yet, but we're waiting. Can you write off prescriptions, chat? All right, so now we're pulling back again, man. It's just so choppy. So it's got to make qualified unreimbursed medical care expenses that exceed 75% of adjusted gross income. What? 7.5%, dude. I'm not talking. Nothing beats that, dude. That's expensive. I guess if you're paying for a big surgery, it's good, but outside of that, no. Yeah, again, it's very flat. Not a surprise today, chat. Not really a shock with flat markets. The big thing is whether Nvidia holds the VWAP right here, which it doesn't look like it is. But again, I'm neutral right now. I just don't see any edge that's big here. We're already up a couple hundred on the day, or close to it at least. But if I was gonna do anything, I would short this, but I'm certainly not telling you what to do. Yeah, health savings account may be a good move. Yeah, I mean, again, I guess if you're paying for a lot, but outside of that, no. So wait, I can write off gambling losses? Can I really? That seems like a conflict of interest, no? Wait, you can't write off income. It says income, sales, real estate, and personal property taxes. Wait, so I can write off income taxes? No. I know property taxes, but yeah, but that's only if I'm yeah. All right, so we're bouncing right back up again. The market's very flat. Yeah, investment losses, but I made money last year, which is what I'm doing my taxes for. I made money last year, so I'm not going to be able to deduct it, unfortunately. You know, and it's all right. Like, Nvidia at the top of the range at 787s. I mean, I'd rather make money than lose money, so I'm going to have to pay taxes, I guess, but that's okay. Again, we're very flat. Nvidia's running up. The SPY is kind of neutral, but again, choppy day, guys. Choppy day. All right, guys, so we are bouncing right at the top of the range. Look at Nvidia at 790s. All right, so top of the range. Let's see if Nvidia, again, Nvidia over $800 is a big bullish sign. I think if it can hold over 800 bucks, it's a bullish sign for sure. Or I guess I lost technically money last year, but I think it's because I didn't sell, right? So like unrealized gains aren't counted in this, I guess, right? You're not gonna have to pay taxes on unrealized gains, I'm assuming. Sorry, I'm going over my taxes in real time, so forgive me. Okay, so yeah, so basically I sat on all my winning trades. I was green to end the year, just to clarify, but I didn't sell, I guess, until this year, and so I'll probably have to pay taxes on those gains for this year alone. All right, anyways, look at the market fly up. Wow, Nvidia. Watch Nvidia. Again, $800 a big level here, chat, like a really big level. So we'll see if it holds. Yeah, I got the October extension, crazy. So I got the October extension. Again, very strong market here, chat. Very strong market. SPY at 498 here. 498. Market is flying up. Again, this is why choppiness at the opening bell played out. Again, I would buy this dip. The problem is, like, if we do remain choppy today, we might go up and then down and then up and then down. Yeah, I know I looked at my gains when I was ending the year last year, and I was green when I ended the year. But again, I guess because I didn't sell and take profit on those gains, technically I have, you know, again, I was green to end the year, but since it was unrealized, I don't get taxed for it, which I guess is good. I'll have to pay taxes on those. I've exited a lot of positions over the last 3 months, and so I'll probably have to pay taxes on it. Again, Nvidia up to almost 800 bucks. So again, let's see if it can break. It's at 795s. And again, if you want to day trade with me, we are day trading in the futures market here. Today, we are up about 170 on the day, 170. No losses day trading futures. And again, this is very similar to day trading stocks. You can join me on Apex's funded account program. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you could pass the test, they fund you. If you don't pass the test, you're probably going to lose less than you would putting the money up yourself and losing that. Most day traders lose their first couple accounts. And this is a way to limit that risk. The base one's only like 30 bucks. They give you a 25K demo. If you can make 1,500 in profit without losing 1,500 first, they fund you 25K with a 90% split. And again, so if you're good enough to pass it, you get 25K with a 90% split in funding. If you don't pass it, which is going to be most people, you only lose 30 bucks, which is what you pay for it. So not bad here, chat, not bad. And again, if you want to check out Apex, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money. And so if you want to check it out, here's the link. Again, a great way to help support your boy here on this channel. Use promo code BT, Beginner Trading BT, 2 letters, get you the max discount at all times. Great way to help support your boy here on this channel. Check it out. Yeah, I'm going to have to pay taxes on it for next year's taxes, though. So, like, for this year. So, next year when I pay taxes, I'll have to pay. Again, I've been covering positions over the last 3 months, so... Again, we still got a portfolio we're green on. We're currently green on the year as well. I'm pretty sure we're green in realized gains though this year because we ended up covering a lot of positions. But yeah. But again, here's the link if you want to check it out. Appreciate the love. You can also find the link in the description. I kind of want to buy this dip. This will be one of my. Look, we got 2 contracts here. I want to see Nvidia make that turn. And so we're going to take 2 contracts. Try to be patient with it. And if it doesn't work, we're just going to cut it and end the day very green. It's starting to bounce back up. There we go. Let's see Nvidia run. The OCD in me wants to have a perfect day. But because again, prior to this trade, we haven't lost on any trades. So we haven't lost on any trades. Now, I don't want to get so stubborn that there we go. Now we're green. I just need to hold over there enough to take profit. Again, Nvidia testing that top. Okay, the OCD in me is going to take profit there just because we can. All right, we're out. All right, so we did end the day, or we're not over yet, but we did end the day with no losses here. Check this out. No losses. We got into about 15 trades. We're up about 180 bucks on the day. Not a bad day overall, all things considered. I was never shorting Nvidia. I'm not one to short Nvidia. That's too risky, to be honest. I'm not going to short the healthiest companies in the world. It's just way, way, way too risky, to be honest. Like, personally, that seems like a bad decision. So, anyways, another thing I've been using today is Chart Prime. And I did use these for a lot of my trades. You can kind of see why here, chat. So, again, like, look, let's back test the strong signals. So, again, here's Chart Prime. You can see I set alerts, so it gives me these alerts. But, like, check it out. Like, look, let's back test the last few. All right. I try to back test this live. I'm going to preface this with they're a sponsor. I'm biased. Don't copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I can't guarantee you're going to make money or that these are going to work. They pay me money. I'm biased. All right. I always try to be transparent about that. But let's back test it. Strong signal here. Beautiful bounce. Sell signal here. Beautiful drop. And this is a 5-minute chart. So these are hours and hours of signals. Look, buy signal showed up here. You did get a nice follow through. Sell signal showed up here. You got a beautiful breakdown. Buy signal showed up here. You got a beautiful rip up. Sell signal showed here. This one's iffy. I'll probably say this one didn't work, right? So buy signal there definitely worked. You got a nice little follow through. Sell signal here definitely worked. You got a nice breakdown. Buy signal there worked. Sell signal there worked. Buy signal there worked. This one's iffy. So far that's two. That's 2 out of however many are on the chart that didn't work. And again, I can't guarantee this back testing's accurate either. Nobody can. So this one looks like it certainly worked. Here you got a nice little follow through, but this one's iffy. I'll even count this one wrong. And then this one was a little iffy. I'll count that one wrong. This one looks like it worked. But all right, so that's 4 that didn't work. That's 4 that didn't work. Let's test it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 4 out of 15 didn't work. 11 out of 15 worked. And so percentage wise here, that is about 73% accuracy here. And I can't fake this. You know, nobody can. Like, again, I can't guarantee all of these work, but again, this is pretty standard, and this is just a small piece. You can use this with anything with a symbol on TradingView, stocks, crypto, forex, futures, whatever you like on TradingView, any time frame, and it's not going to work on every one. You got to kind of back test them, but you could look at an hourly time frame, like a longer term time frame, if you like swing trading or getting into longer term trades. And again, look at the strong signals and look how powerful they can be here. So like, look at this. Strong signal showed up here, nice little follow through. Buy signal worked. This buy signal worked here as well. This strong signal showed up here. Look at that breakdown. This one was wrong. This one was probably wrong. This one you got a little follow through, it looks like. This one you got a bounce. This one worked. This strong signal failed. This one was a beautiful one. This one worked. And then it looks like this one worked as well. So how many is that? 1, 2. So 2, 3. So 3 here. And again, back test it yourself. I can't guarantee these are going to work. But 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 3 out of 13. That is 10 out of 13 that works. That is 77% rounded up. And again, I can't guarantee that all of these would work, but these are just to the best of my knowledge. Not bad, guys. Not bad. It's a company called Chart Prime. It is a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, but if you want to check them out, I'll put this link up too. I'm going to get out of here, guys, now that I'm done shamelessly plugging my sponsors at the end of the stream. Again, I'm biased. They pay me money. So, of course, I'm going to have bias in that favor. What does it mean to have biased? It means that, okay, anybody that pays you money, you're going to be biased, right? What do I mean by that? I mean, like, okay, if Amex comes around, if American Express comes around and says, hey, I'll pay you 50 grand to say Amex is good, you're going to be like, hey, Amex is great, right? And that's normal. To be fair, I truly do believe in my sponsors. I think my sponsors are really nice, and I think they help traders. But everybody's different. I try to always be transparent and admit I have bias for them and, you know, all that good stuff. What is MTTR? Matterport. Matterport does like software. I've used Matterport before. They are up to $5 a share. So they're looking good. Tesla dip buyers. We're pulling back to a pretty big support level, though. Yeah, Tesla all the way back up to 144s. I bought a little bit of the dip today. Let's see if this support level holds. I don't want to risk too much. I've already had a perfect day trading. And then this is the only account I've day traded today. We haven't lost at all. So I'm going to probably bow out today, guys. Big volatility this week. Again, Tesla earnings, Meta earnings, Google, Microsoft earnings, PCE data Friday, GDP data Thursday, jobless claims data Thursday, Boeing, AT&T. So many earnings are dropping this week. It's the biggest earnings week of the month. So again, y'all just be ready. Y'all be careful. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good.